Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to a Zombicide unboxing video. This is going to be a series of unboxings for classic Zombicides. This will be the first one I'm going to start out with. But it's going to be a little bit different than all the other Zombicide series you've done. If you've been watching my videos, which, hey, awesome if you have, I appreciate it. What I've done, like Black Plague, Undead or Alive, Invader, I usually have like all the core sets, then most of the expansions, some of the side packs, and I kind of do stuff bundled together. Unfortunately, for classic Zombicide, second edition as well, but unfortunately for classic Zombicide, it is, I don't want to say difficult because they're easy to obtain. They're just expensive to get all the core sets. So I do not own the core sets for the original Zombicide, for Prison Outbreak, Toxic City Mall, but I do have the map tiles. So we'll kind of look over those. I also do not have the map tiles or the set for Rue Morgue, which is Season 3, but I do have Angry Neighbors. So I actually have the box for this, so I could do a full unboxing of this later. So if you are interested in that. Now, in these videos, I'm not going to, obviously, since I don't have any core sets, I'm not going to go over the actual rules of the game. You can go check out, either check out second edition, or if I've released, I'm going to attempt to try and make like a how to play Zombicide video. So I do that. I know the one big difference between Zombicide Classic and second edition is breaking down doors. As I don't think there are doors in second edition. But I don't, so that's that. So yeah, I'm going to go over the tiles for these three sets, and we're going to kind of look at some of the tokens, and get an idea of what each game kind of brings to the table. One quick note to point out for these, so if you ever are looking at, hey, I like this game, I'd like to get extra tiles to make my own custom games, which is definitely the whole point of this. They do have all the same tiles that are in the boxes. So this is all the same nine tiles that are in the core set. It does come with a token sheet, which has some extra little tokens that might help you if you're playing bigger games. But to note, maybe not as much for the core set, but for sure for the other two sets, it does not contain every single token or game piece needed to play. So, if you're like me and you kind of thought, hey, I could pick this up, and then if I get one of the box of zombies that has some of the, toxic characters or the berserkers or whatever, I could just play these tiles on, load up the instruction booklet online. I could just play through all the missions anyhow with other characters, except you're missing some of the token pieces. I shouldn't say tiles. You're missing some of the tokens you might need to play. I'll go over that a little bit more when we get to the other two expansions, because they have a little bit more. Obviously, also don't have any of the characters or any of that stuff, but yeah, you can definitely try and play through the missions. You might just have to makeshift some of your tokens. Alright, so this is the core Zombicide. This is classic. So these are the original tiles, so they're not going to be... Oh, and I'm losing tokens everywhere. So they're not going to be as, I don't want to say creative. They're not going to be as different or unique shaped as some of the other ones. So obviously I'm going to have the first one set up, but we have, the way the tiles work, so in case you're just not familiar, is you have street zones, and then every time there's a line, this blocks off an area where your character can go. So like 1, 2, 3. Now, you notice there's no doors on the outside of the buildings because you have to place the doors down. So you get door tokens to add doors where they're going to be. All the inside of the buildings, of course, have door openings that lead to the next tiles or different rooms. When you open a door, it spawns zombies in any open room. We get it. Oh, all my tokens are going everywhere. We do get a token sheet with this, which is going to have more noise tokens, some more cars, some more different doors, some neutral, some green and blue doors for special missions, some more spawn points, a bunch more objectives. So that's what all of these missing tiles are. They all fell out. and an exit. If we flip it over, we have the pimp mobiles instead of the cop cars, and we have broken doors. These are, again, just because if you want to buy these that make your game bigger to make your own custom games, they're giving you more extra things to do since you have more tiles to cover. Now, if I pop out 2 of these doors here, so if you start the game and you have a door there, and let's say we're going to need a 3rd door here, it looks like. Put 1 that direction, and we put 1 that direction, right? So, you're playing the game, you come in, you break this door down, boom, now you've entered this building, then you, of course you spawn the zombies in the 3 open areas, but because this still has doors blocked off, you wouldn't summon any in here then, until you come over and break one of these open. Which actually kind of makes this a little bit unique, because you could add extra doors and extra tiles and stuff to, like, you know, blank off doors. The only downside is that most of these all have, like, two entrances, so it's a little bit harder to block off all of them. But you could always do even something like this. So you could put, like, the 2 extra doors there. Then what would happen, of course now there's a door here too, so you have to put a 3rd door there to block everything off. That's sort of, I guess, maybe the downside of the way, at least this tile is for sure, because there's so many different openings, you're going to have to always put at least 2 extra doors down. Yeah, so this is tile 4E, they're all going to have number and letter system, so when you're playing the scenario, it can tell you what to do. This thing, like, it looks like an office type room, there's some hallways in there. And then, of course, we can flip it over, and we have 5E. This will have an outside, so we have zone, 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 zone. So we have all of them. Then we have 2 different little rooms in there. Try to make sure I can get this where everyone can see it. There, I think you guys can see it there without me moving them all the time. Yeah, so that's a different, like a U shape, as I call it. And then we get more U-shapes. You get a lot of repeated stuff, a lot of the same assets on there. For the core sets, you have like 2 dumpsters. They're just in different spots. Like the trash cans and the skid marks are kind of in the same area. But they're a different set of bathrooms. So they change a little bit on there, but lots of stuff stays the same. This is 5D. And then we have 4D. And that's another office space. It's going to look a lot like the other one, just almost reversed. So if we kind of hold those 2 up next to each other, so we have our main hallway. It's the long and short, big board table, small room, and then this is the exact opposite. And that's what this does a lot of. We have the big square, which adds like a security type room. This is 7B. On the other side, we have 5F. I'm not really sure what their numbering scheme was for the original. I know that, like the newer ones, it's pretty much like, you know, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like maybe A for like one set, then like the next set, like expansions like B, so that way you know, oh, I'm in this expansion. So I'm not sure why they went with all these different letters. Yeah, there's another U shape of the bathroom, so not too much different. Then we get our central. We have 6C, which is like our cafe. And then we have 2C, which is our corner room. So yeah, there's looks like a house there, so I would give her a house. We have a little bathroom in there, so you can break into that one. We have 5C, which is our C shape, or our U shape there. I guess it's also a C shape. It's U if you go this way. Just like a security type room. And then we have another different style building, so it's gonna be kind of the same thing: long, short, big room, small room, just with different things in there. And this is 4C. I'm just kind of fly through some of these. Now I do like this one. There's a little bit different shapes in there. So just the 4, we get a little bathroom, we get a bigger room, a little smaller room. But again, you'd have to have multiple things to block them off. And this is 3B. Then we get our other house here. This is our 1B. We have 5B, which is another There we have 4B, 1C, 3C. You can see again lots of the same. This is exactly the same as the other one, just like maybe different layout on where some of the different things are. And our other restaurant, 6B and 2B. So you only get one where it's just this one central tile. That's the only one that's unique upon itself, which is this one. All the rest have duplicates of them. That's core classic Zombicide. Not a lot of different stuff there. Nothing like super unique or anything. It's just your generic regular tiles that get you started. And of course, then you can combine all the different rooms together. To make like, one big long hallway that way. But yeah, since there's not, trying to find some of the actual rooms. So you kind of just have to combine your streets together, and then as long as the streets are connected, the rooms will line up properly. Except what you do is get sometimes like this, where if I try and combine these two, these rooms aren't going to line up 100%, because they're different styles. You kind of have to line up the house with the house, to get the rooms to line up. But you can make, of course, like a 4... Make like a big 4-room house if you needed to. If I can find the other room tile. Do we only get 3 of them? Oh, there it is. Yeah, so you can always make stuff where you have a bunch of small rooms, or you can make like this, which would be one big giant house, which then you could... This could be a very interesting just mapping itself, is you could have like a couple of doors on the outside, but then you could have a bunch of doors in here blocking different stuff, so that way you almost have to search room by room, or maybe like a part by part, like maybe the bathrooms each have a door, some different stuff like that, so definitely some interesting things you can do with these. Alright. That's what we have for the core set. We're going to kind of just move right along. I'm going to slide those off to the side. Look at them tokens one last time. So yeah, again, we get 2 extra cars in case you want some extra cars. We have a bunch more objective tokens, a bunch more extra doors, and some different spawn spots. Of course, you get the blue one, so if you activate the blue objective token, which this does not actually come with a blue objective token, which is kind of funny. But if you had one, you could activate the blue doors or the green doors or the blue spawn spots. Some different stuff like that. Alright, then we're going to jump into Season 2, which is Prison Outbreak. This just adds a new area to play. So the first one, if it's kind of like homes and like restaurants and offices, here we are going to the prison. So this does add a bunch of neat and unique elements. Now these are going to be called P's. Alright, so we have the beginning of the inside of a prison of the basketball court with barbed wire around it. There is another barbed wire tile. Let me see if I can find it quick. There it is. So 1P and 2P. So you can actually make a barbed wire fence around this, and then you have like a big prison wall. Now you can tell these big walls are thicker, so they're not regular door walls. You have to have a special way to get in and out of some of these different prison areas. What they do have is, let's look at this token sheet right away. So we have a bunch of extra things on top. We have more colored spawn areas. We have some more colored objective tokens. So again, like even if you bought this with the other one, or you added it to that, you have a lot more extra stuff. We have prison doors. We have white and purple prison doors. We have some more neutral doors. We have some other colored doors. Some ones for each different color, which are nice. How we use the tokens to open them. We have main entrances to the prison. So these allow you to put these on these thicker spots in here to actually get into the prison. Or like, I know like one of them has, scenario has it like on the barbed wire. So basically they're not your regular, just your regular doors. They're ones that you have to open. I think most of the scenarios require you to open with a switch, which is a token we did not get. So that's what I was talking about. I said, if you bought this, you can't play every mission because there's literally 3 switch tokens. There's, I think, a purple, white, and yellow switch tokens, which are used for opening the doors, or activating certain things, or like opening these. And they do not come in this set. So if you don't own the base game, you're not going to have them switch tokens. Now, granted, you could put anything down on the board to act as a switch token. It's just a tile that you can use one of these if you wanted to. But yeah, it doesn't come with those. Now here we have barbed wire, which is broken. If we flip it open, of course we have all our broken doors. Because I think abominations can break through big doors. But also the barbed wire, which adds a unique element around here. So the barbed wire actually has an in-game effect. Is zombies can't cross the barbed wire. So if you're survivor standing inside here, the zombies will pile up outside and they won't be able to get through. An abomination will walk right through it and rip a hole into it, and then it opens it up. Otherwise, zombies just kind of sit outside if they can't find a way around. So you can sit there and you can shoot through the barbed wire fence to try and get through them. So it's kind of a neat little idea. It kind of blocks them off. They just kind of build up on there. Now, if you sit there like, oh, I can just sit in here and hide or whatever. The problem is if now you run outside, they're just going to keep building up there and building up there. And then eventually if you run out of zombies, they're going to all get extra activations. So eventually a zombie abomination will spawn and then he will break it open. Now you have twice as many to deal with. So you don't want to let them build up too much. I'm going to pop this one out. This is an extra token we do want to look at as well. This is the rotating security door. So it has these extra borders. This is where you can enter from. So you have like little riveted spots on there. So there's one with left and right, or one that does this. Now it does is this goes on the board somewhere. I'm just going to put it here for example. And what it does is then you can activate a switch to rotate it. And then it allows different entrances to be accessed. So, like, if for some reason, let's say I had it, like, here on the corner here. Let's just use the left or right one, right? It's like right now, this we'll put it in the middle here just for the sake of showing it. Survivors and zombies could walk through here. But then if this got rotated this direction, essentially saying now they can't. It stops them from getting through. I mean, you might maybe even do it this direction, maybe not right over that barbed wire, like maybe something like that. But it's kind of a neat idea. Also, the thing is, if a character can't stop on one of these doors, it's a neat little mechanic to the game. Is that so? Then that way they have to either runner has to run through, or an abomination can pass right through. But a walker, a brute, or if a survivor wants to stop on there, they're going to get shoved back the other direction. So even still, it stops smaller guys. But yeah, it's definitely a neat extra little tile to have. And if you have the base game, now you have 2 of them. So again, you can set up some more interesting things. Alright, let's look at the other side of these tiles. Alright, so here's inside the actual prison. We're going to have some, tables. Now, this adds some neat mechanic, or neat layouts that the base game didn't have. The Corsa had lots of straights, or outside or U-shapes. This has some inside terminals. Now, even though you're inside the buildings, these are called alleyways, is what they call them. This effectively works as a street while you're in there. So a zombie can see up and down as long as you're not in the door. You can drive a car through the prison if you want. We do have some other ones like this, which will have street zones on the outside. So like, here's some big prison walls. Here's another one of them alleyways. And this one's 8p. The other one's 15. Now here's some cells. And this is what these little barb tiles are going to be. So you can see there's a door there. And if you flip it open, you can see it's open. So what you do is you put these on here, and the cell is closed. So that way if someone enters this building, so let's do this. If this is my prison, and I open up this prison, and I walk into the prison using a door now, it's going to function like entering a building. Any open doors are going to spawn zombies, but if they're closed, they won't. So that's just kind of a neat mechanic, because you can have zombies stuck, you can have zombies in the cells, or you won't know it's in the cell until you open it. That's kind of a thing, so you might have to open each one to look for a token or whatever. And you open them up using a switch, all of a sudden now they're in there. Now you could go ahead and close it again, so maybe you might lure a zombie in there and then close it on them, which would be kind of interesting. But there's some different tiles like that we can do. Also kind of interesting is like I was showing off this tile. This is definitely something where a rotating door would be interesting on this like teeth section. So you can go like this, and then let's say it gets rotated. Now nothing can go through this direction. And then you have to rotate it again. And then now, nope, nobody can go here. Now the third time, now you can go this direction. So that'd be kind of a neat little way. Or if you get it the other direction, blocks it. This passageway is open. Blocks. Passageway is open. And since you can't stop inside of there, it's basically, this is always functionally shutting off going this way. Just opening up this direction one way or the other. So that's kind of also a neat way to do it. Or even just put it in the middle here. It'd be kind of the same idea. Yeah, it's definitely a cool idea. Alright, then we have some more regular ones. We have another U-shaped board, which is 3p. And we have 12p. So yeah, this adds, again, I love this because it adds extra little shapes in there. I like when they're not just, you know, like straight lines. Like this is nice, but this is kind of cool that adds a different shape in there. So you can add, you know, different ideas. Plus, my other favorite part is this circle part. See if I can find one of the other ones like that. I have a couple of them. Yeah, so here's like one of the other ones. So, because then it adds this little like roundabout road in there, which is kind of a neat little idea. So here's just some more inner tiles. So like, yeah, the inside it's flooded, but then there's like zones in there that are your mall. There's also a security gate, which is kind of a nice little neat tile, which is big and open. You have two little tiny rooms, and then a broken gate. This is 17p. Yes, if you take these tiles, and let's see if I have the roads. So you can essentially create like a little turnaround area in there, which is kind of cool. Or if you have them turn this way, it's like a little roundabout, or a little round, like dead end. Just kind of a fun idea. That they add just a little bit of extra things just to make that little different type of zone in there. So there's those 4 tiles. I'm going to slide these guys off to the side. Let's get through some more of these. So we have another one that's similar to that. This again works as a nice place to maybe have an entrance into the prison. So we have 6p. And then on the other side we just have another U-shape with 4p. Here we have 7p. Now, again, the old ones used to just have it in the board. The new ones always have them in the corner, which is kind of interesting. But here's some more cells. So you can have these cells like across from the other cells if you want. Here's another angle. You can kind of see that spot where they have like the little border lines. It's a good spot to put that rotating tile. So I think the idea is where that's where it's meant to go. In probably most scenarios, actually, they'll put it. But again, it's your game. You can always do whatever you want. We got this angled office space, which I like. Here we have like some showers. With some extra alleyways in there. I wonder if the cameras might be an interesting mechanic for any of the scenarios. I haven't looked through all the scenarios for that, but that could definitely be a cool thing. Here we have another little open area there. Some more cells, double-sided there, so you can again have a lot more cells in here. And there's another spot for your rotating tile, so you could have that. Grab that quick. So yeah, this can rotate like, oh, which room can I get into? Oh, now I can get between those two different security rooms. Definitely kind of cool. Alright, and then the last one is we have another one like that. It's a similar idea. And then we have Hellfest, which is there's a party outside of that complex. Yes, that's definitely cool there. So those are the 9 tiles for Prison Break. Again, I said you can't... You're going to be missing some of the stuff for those if you don't... the tokens if you don't have everything. But you definitely can go on to Seamon's website, go to the Zombicide, or Guillotine Games, whichever one you want. There's the websites where Guillotine Games also has the stuff on this. But yeah, you can jump in there, you can always download the rulebook, you have all the scenarios in there, or the online scenarios that Seamon does. And you can play these different tiles then, even if you have one of the other versions. So you have Second Edition. You could pick these up, you could play through the tiles. Again, if you're missing like some of the little things, you might just have to make your own makeshift ones. But this is a cheaper way than buying like a, $100+ expansion, just to get some extra map tiles for the base game. Alright, so this is Toxic City Mall. This is the Season 2 expansion set. So there's only 4 tiles in here, but it's going to add a mall. And then the mall actually adds some extra neat stuff as well. So we have 2M for the mall. But it adds an indoor alleyway as well. So just like the prison, we're going to have a little hallway in here. So these aren't rooms. They act like a street as soon as the door is open. Same thing here. So they act like a street for all intents and purposes. Line of sight, driving cars, stuff like that. And then we have our regular rooms. Kind of look at some of these tiles quick. Yeah, we're only getting 4, so the mall is just kind of like its own little mini expansion. Got a couple different other rooms in there. Different stores. And then the 4th one. So nothing like groundbreaking necessarily. Although this is definitely a fun tile here. It's the first fully open tile. So you have all their different spots around there, and then one big center tile. It's the parking lot, which is really cool because this actually is a great one to add into lots of other sets. Just because if you're playing with the cars, now you have a big parking spot, or you have a big open area to connect a bunch of other areas like a central location. You would start with the cars even parked there. Some definite fun things there. And then like at the mall, you can kind of connect these mall pieces together. Try and see if I can connect it how they sort of have it thought out. Because that's the parking lot, right? What do we have here? Yeah, so you can always do like the 4 different tiles that way. We have some different ones that way. So yeah, you could combine these kind of like this even. So like if you enter the mall from one side, what's this side look like? There we go, let's do that. So yes, if you enter the mall from over here, like this is the big, like a big area for double doors here. You can enter that way, you can drive a car all the way through, you can go to the different stores. So we do get some tokens for this. We get double door tiles. So these are a little bit bigger. And then they do break open. Then we also get small shop tiles, which are like basically regular doors, but for the mall, it's kind of like the prison doors. Then we get some more regular doors, we get some more tokens, we get a +1 token. I'm not really sure what that does off the top of my head. But these are the like little glass doors for the shops. But that way you can just drop them in there. And then now you know that, hey, this shop is closed. So the idea is, if you enter the mall, so let's grab one of our mall tokens. We have some double doors here. Some big wide doors. And let's say they're both closed. Now, when you normally enter the mall, if any of these have doors on them, just like in the prison set, they won't spawn. Any ones that don't will automatically spawn stuff. So if these get broke open, and you enter this building, all of a sudden now all these are going to spawn. But you could have every door closed. You could have to individually search each one. Or maybe have one door open so one zombie spawning like this toy shop. And then you have to search each other room, or maybe have like half and half. And there's definitely a lot of different areas. So even like this, there's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rooms. We get plenty of different ones. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16 tiles. So there's plenty of different doors to use there without even having to use your regular doors, which is also really fun, because in that way you can combine these with other tiles. And then of course we can kind of flip these around. And we got like, not going to line up perfectly because there's not a third one. But now if you had the base game, you could have a fourth different one. You could even have like just a weird random circle in there. Otherwise, but this adds like some different idea for the mall. Like, even if you did something like that, or however you have it, you could have like this is like kind of the upper floor. You know, where then you have to do the walk around the outside, and then you can enter each mall area, like big door here. Instead of having little shop doors, you can enter each big one. And you can kind of tell they have the little tiny lines here, just supposed to show where the shop doors are, versus the ones that don't, which are regular doors. And that's how you can kind of tell if you're supposed to be in a shop or not. So those are all of those. Then the last thing we had on here that we didn't show off were the barricades. This is another new mechanic they added in there that work very similar to the barbed wire from the prison set, except you have to build these. So a survivor can spend 3 actions to build an incomplete side, and then they can spend them or another one on a different turn, same turn. However, someone else can spend another one to finish completing it. So it costs 6 action total. So 2 times 3. So, like the first survivor could do 1, and then the second survivor on the next turn could complete it, if you wanted to. What these do then is they work just like, so if they're on the incomplete side, they don't do anything. But once they're like this, they completely block zombies. So if it's, let me just scooch this up. So if it's in this door here, it now acts as, basically as a door. It's a way for you to essentially build doors around the area, which will completely block off zombies from doing stuff. You could also put them in the streets here, and this would block off them from coming down this street anymore. They would have to either go through this building or go around a different area. But if we have a double set of streets like this, one won't block it. You would actually have to build 2 of them. Although there's the bonus, if once you build one, everyone that helped out, so both, if one person does it, they get it by themselves, but if 2 survivors do it, they each get 5 experience. It's a nice way to get extra experience. You can't use free actions or any of that, so basically, if you haven't hit yellow and gotten your free action yet, it's your entire turn to build one of these. But building one of these early on could definitely be helpful, because now zombies can't get through here. The exception to it is if there's ever an extra activation card, they spend their entire activation, any zombies in that area spend their entire activation just to destroy it. So they can get rid of one of these, and then they can go around to different areas. So that's actually kind of fun. Now, it's kind of weird, because I didn't see any rules about it for the abominations breaking through it, like they can do it with the barbed wire. I would assume abominations just rip through these. This is how I'd probably play it anyhow. Or at least they not just walk through it, like maybe they have to, also again, they can just spend their turn to do it. But at least if it slows them down for a turn, it's definitely helpful. The other thing to address about those, the barricades is, according to the rule books, if you're playing a scenario, it'll tell you specifically where you can build them. So you can't just put them wherever. But again, this is, again, you're buying extra tiles, it's your own game, you can do whatever you want. There's also these manhole covers all over the place which spawn zombies as well. But yeah, so you can definitely build your own wherever you want if you're playing your own version. Alright, so I want to look at two other things before we quit. One is I want to show off this. So I also have, these are plastic tokens for Zombicide. This is for the core game. Now, this normally would come in a big plastic bubble, like plastic, carrying or case or whatever, displayer, to be on the shelf. But like where I ordered these from, they came loose. Are these ever necessary? No. These are upgraded tokens. They're only currently, this is for the classic, the core Zombicide set. Although, I mean, they work with any of them. But they're nice, high quality tokens. So if you are playing with these, they work really well. Now, they're not going to obviously directly translate to the other games, because, like, the other versions of Zombicide, because even second edition does stuff a little bit differently. These are for tracking your stats and stuff on your characters. But like the newer games don't use those. But I do like the fact, like, yeah, the tokens are nice and thick versus, so they're not really, they're actually a little bit thinner than some of these tokens, but they're not going to wear out. They're definitely nice, high quality. Like, this is cardboard. This could start to bend or warp. This is plastic. The sound tokens are really nice. Plus all the spawn spots that have reds. Some of them have the other colors on the other side, just like normal. Then we have the exit token. Now again, this is just for the base game, so they didn't give you a whole lot of extra different stuff. I don't know if off the top of my head, I don't know if the Kickstarters for like Season 2 with like Prison Outbreak and Toxic City Mall, or Season 3 with Rumor and Angry Neighbors had token sets as well. I know it's something Simon typically does in all their newer sets, but I don't know if they did it for this, for any of the other ones. So that is what we have, and I have one other thing. I just want to put together some maps quick. Alright, so the last thing I just wanted to show off for this video is I just created a big giant map with majority of the tiles. I didn't use all of them. It's a 3x5 tile, so 15 tiles. So it's probably bigger than any general scenario or game would be. So yeah, there's I'm gonna actually unhook my camera from my thing here, and we'll take a look at it. So I don't have like a specific, this is me just throwing this together super quick, so it's not like I have an exact narrative or plot, or even like if any of the spawn points or any of that stuff are correct. But what I did here was, so I built the mall. So I built the mall on the outside, so you can enter here through the one entrance of the mall, and as a token you can get right away. I did not, however. I should have probably made an entrance point here, but I didn't. But then, like, inside the mall, we actually get into this part of the mall over here. Like, where all the stores are, we have some hidden tokens that we need objective tokens in there. We have all the doors in front of all the different shops, so you're going to have to check each one. Now, I don't know if you want to have a thing for every single one, like a token in every single one, be like, hey, you have to look specifically for these colors or collect X number of tokens or what. Again, I didn't really figure that out. I did put one door over here, though, because this exit enters into the security side. Thing here. So it's not actually a store. And I put a blue door over here. So this is a blue door, which usually then you have to find a special trigger. And this gets you on the security side. So rather than being only one entrance and exit to the mall, if you can find a security entrance key somewhere, which is probably located in the mall, which is why I would at least, say, hey, shuffle these, put one, like a blue one, and put it somewhere in there, and then go like some of the other ones in separate yourselves, so it didn't end up in a different part of the map, but it gets you a separate exit. We have a spawn point right over here, but we have some incomplete barriers. So the neat thing here is if you built these, it would prevent these zombies from getting out. They'd have to go through this door if you open this door. Otherwise, these guys would kind of just sit there and pile up. The downside is, if you don't take them out, they're going to just keep piling up. And then in the middle here, we have 2 different cars. I just picked the cop and the pink car. That's what we had. But because we have such an open area to drive, we can drive here, we can drive all in there. We have a drive path all the way around through the prison basketball court. There's another spawn point and another barricade, which you could build this to stop these guys from getting there, coming out. Although you'd have to destroy it later to get through and run by them. Again, this might be a thing of maybe I need to make another exit through the back side of the prison or do something that way. Otherwise, you have to run through a spawn point, which might be too hard in a narrow passageway because you can't just skip by them. But that'd be a neat way to stop them from at least coming after you. But yeah, you can always take a car through. But the idea is maybe you just take a car, you just run the car through everybody. And that might be the idea there. Then we have another little passageway down this way, the spawn point over there, so you can drive a car that way. I didn't put barricades down here, but it could maybe have in the rules you could build a barricade there if you wanted to. Maybe like if you salvage one of these other barricades, you can build them there. Or you might find an item that's a barricade. Then if we scooch over here, sorry for the really super shaky cam. Now we built the prison on the other side. So we have a special prison door to unlock it, so you have to find a token that unlocks that. Or, some mechanic in the game, maybe you have to do this or do that. Just you can't break it down normally. So it's a little bit different security door. But then we have some regular doors in here. We have the hallway, which again, you can drive the cop cars through the hallways too. And they wrap all the way around. Except here would be the only problem is I might have to take this out if I want to use the cars in there, because the cars can't drive through there. But that'd be kind of neat to drive the cars all the way around in a circle, and there's stuff over there. So really, you can make your car utilize it all over on this map. Then we also put some, a purple security door, which would have the same thing I've seen lots of times. Is when you open it, security door, then this would open. It will also open up the purple prison cells, which release more zombies in there. And the same idea with the white ones over there. And maybe that's what you do is have something blocked off there, and maybe the exits through this white door, over that direction. Could even do something like that. Otherwise, there's some regular other doors. There's also another security door into the prison. Just means you have to find some way to trigger it. Which again, I think lots of times you're just having a switch somewhere, which I don't have the tokens for them. But if you just have a regular switch to just open up them doors, you open and close all the brown doors. At the same time, I don't know why you would have your entrance connected to your basketball court necessarily, but maybe it's just the exit doors are all open or closed. But you got some differences there. We also put a purple door down here. You have to use the security thing to get into this, which might unlock something else. But yeah, so I think it's pretty interesting for a big giant map. Again, utilizing pretty much all the tiles are from either Prison Outbreak or Toxic City Mall, except for this one here is from the base set. But just showing that there's all these different things you can do with just those 3 sets. If you have extra tiles, and obviously I can flip all these over. There's another 15. I still have a lot more because there was 9 and 9. This is 18, 19, 20, 22 tiles. So there's a lot of different stuff you can do. Like you could just make the mall and just a parking lot on one side. Make some more streets. You have to go around and just ignore the buildings. Lots of different stuff there. I just kind of want to show off what you could potentially do. I don't know if I generally make maps this big. Usually they're 3x3, which is 9, which basically is getting rid of like the back side of the prison there, or this side of the mall, and just having the parking lot, which you could easily just do that. Lots of times they're like 4 to 6 tiles, because if you get too big without enough players, it might get overwhelming. But again, if you're picking up all the kickstars, you have all 3 seasons of the game, And then you have all the Kickstarter stuff, all the different boxes. You have a ton of extra zombies. You can have like up to 10 players in some of these modes. You have resurrection modes, stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff you can make this very expansive. Alright, so that's what we got for this. Just hope you guys enjoyed that. I will keep doing more Zombicide videos. Quick previews. We have all the special artists, special guests, and game night boxings to do. Unboxings to do. Yeah, see you guys later. Bye.